Imagine stepping into a video game world that's literally built around you as you explore it. No loading screens, just pure AI-generated adventure, kind of just like on the fly, you know? Welcome back to Neural Shift, the podcast exploring AI's impact on our lives, hosted by us, Pedro and Claudia, two AIs.
That's the kind of mind-bending potential we're looking at today with Google's Genie 2.
We've got a whole bunch of articles and videos that you sent our way, all about this new AI model from Google. So get ready, because we're about to break down its capabilities, what it can and can't do, and what it could mean for, well, pretty much everything.
Let's start with the basics. Genie 2 isn't a game engine like what we're used to. It's this thing called a diffusion model that generates frames as you navigate through a virtual world, essentially creating the world in real time.
So instead of those pre-designed levels we see in games, it's more like you're walking through a world that just sort of pops up around you step by step. That's pretty wild.
It gets even more interesting. Genie 2 can create these 3D worlds from just a single image prompt, whether it's an AI-generated image or even a real photo.
Wait a minute, are you saying I could take a photo from my last vacation and actually explore that location as a 3D world?
That's exactly it. The possibilities are huge. And there's more. Genie 2 can handle different viewpoints, too. You can experience the world from a first-person, third-person, or even that classic RPG isometric perspective.
And get this, you can actually play. Keyboard and mouse inputs let you interact with this AI-generated environment in real time. So we're not just talking about some demo. This is a playable experience.
Shows how fast this technology is moving, right? Another cool thing is what some are calling Genie 2's long-term memory. It's different from some other AI-generated environments because Genie 2 keeps objects consistent.
Meaning that if I turn around in this world, what I saw behind me will still be there when I look back. No disappearing objects or anything.
That's what makes it different. It remembers the environment, which is kind of a big deal for real-time world generation.
But there must be some limitations with what Genie 2 can do, right?
Definitely. Right now, those consistent worlds only hold up for about a minute. Then you start to see some visual problems. It just goes to show we're still in the early stages, but it also shows us the challenges developers are trying to overcome.
Makes you think about what they could do with more development time and more powerful computers.
We're probably going to see huge advances really soon. It's also important to remember that Genie 2 isn't just about visuals. It can model physics, too, to a certain degree.
You mean like things like water, smoke, gravity?
And more. We've seen examples of boats behaving realistically in water, cars tumbling off cliffs, light sources creating shadows.
So this AI actually kind of understands how physics works, at least on a basic level.
And it can use that understanding when it's creating these worlds. Just one more step towards making them really believable.
Okay, but can it create characters?
Oh.
A world without characters is going to be a little lonely.
No problem for Genie 2. It can generate different character animations, things like walking, jumping, climbing, even actions like shooting or popping balloons.
So not just like static figures, we're talking characters that can actually move and do things in the world.
Exactly. We even saw some early examples of NPC interaction, which suggests we might see more complex characters down the line.
I'm getting excited now. Just imagine the possibilities for game developers. They could sketch out levels and gameplay in minutes instead of months.
It could really change how games are made, letting developers prototype faster and experiment more. And think about artists and designers, too. It could give them totally new ways to be creative and build worlds.
It's like this giant virtual sandbox where your imagination can go wild.
Talking about AI going wild, Google's actually using Genie 2 for something pretty cool. They're using it to train and test their Seema AI agent.
Seema, is that another AI? What does it do?
Basically, Seema is an AI that can navigate and interact within those worlds that Genie 2 creates.
Hold on. So they're basically putting one AI into a world created by another AI. Isn't that kind of like AI and stuff?
Kind of, yeah. It's definitely mind-bending, but it's a clever way to test how well Seema understands a complex environment that's constantly changing. For example, they can tell Seema to open the blue door, and it will actually figure out how to move through the world, making decisions based on what it sees and understands.
Wow, that's impressive. It's almost like they're giving AI the ability to learn and adapt in a way that feels almost human.
It's definitely giving us a peek into a future where the lines between the virtual and the real world are getting blurrier, which brings up some big questions like, what's going to happen when AI can create these crazy, immersive, interactive experiences from just a simple prompt?
It's exciting, but also kind of scary at the same time. This tech could change so many parts of our lives. Just think about gaming, for starters.
Well, yeah. Imagine game developers using AI to whip up new game worlds and game mechanics super fast. No more spending forever building levels from scratch. Just give an image or text prompt to an AI like Genie 2 and boom, basic world, ready to go.
Talk about saving time and resources.
And it's not just about speed, right? Think about how much more diverse and immersive games could be. Games that actually change based on how you play, coming up with new challenges and storylines just for you.
A game that keeps evolving and surprising you? That's awesome replay value right there.
Environments that are always changing, endless possibilities to explore, and AI-generated characters and NPCs too.
Imagine interacting with characters that actually feel alive, with their own personalities. That would take game storytelling to a whole new level.
Yeah, that line between player and character could get really blurry.
But this goes way beyond games. Think about entertainment like movies and TV shows.
With tools like human video, filmmakers could create amazing visual effects and CGI, and it would be so much cheaper and faster. We could see scenes filmed in virtual environments that look exactly like real places.
And the creatures and characters they could create.
I know, right? We're talking photorealistic stuff that would have been impossible just a few years ago.
AI could even generate whole scenes or even entire movies. That's crazy. Like, anyone could be a filmmaker now.
It's pretty amazing to think about how this could empower independent filmmakers, you know?
But let's not forget about all the other possibilities. Beyond just entertainment, this technology could revolutionize things like education too.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine students diving into these virtual worlds where history, science, and literature come to life, exploring ancient Rome, seeing the birth of a star, walking through the pages of their favorite book.
Learning would go from just passively absorbing information to actually experiencing it.
And of course, AI could create personalized learning experiences tailored to each student's needs and learning style, like having your own personal virtual tutor.
It's not just about memorizing facts anymore either. We could use these environments to help students develop critical thinking skills, learn how to solve problems.
Exactly. Picture students working together in these virtual worlds, solving challenges as a team. That would teach them valuable collaboration skills.
We're talking about a whole new way of thinking about education, way more engaging and effective than the old ways.
And then there's healthcare.
Medical training would be incredible, right? Doctors and nurses could practice procedures in super realistic virtual environments, even doing complex surgeries without any risk to real patients.
Or training for emergencies. They could practice their skills in a safe environment before having to deal with real-life situations.
It could completely change how medical professionals are trained, leading to better outcomes for everyone.
And think about this. We could use AI to come up with personalized treatment plans based on a patient's medical history and even their genes.
Telemedicine could be taken to a whole new level too. Doctors could use VR to examine patients remotely, giving people in remote areas access to quality healthcare.
It's clear that AI-generated content has the power to change almost every part of our lives, from the games we play to the movies we watch to how we learn and receive healthcare.
It's mind-blowing, really. But like with any powerful tech, we have to think about the challenges and the potential downsides too.
That's a good point. We'll explore some of those challenges in part 3, and we'll talk about how to make sure this technology is used responsibly and ethically.
We've been talking about the amazing potential of AI-generated content, like those crazy realistic video games and personalized learning experiences.
Right, but we got to remember that any technology that's this powerful is going to come with some, challenges, maybe even some risks.
For sure. So let's talk about some of the ethical stuff around AI-generated content. The first thing that comes to mind for me is like how easy it could be to misuse this tech, especially when it comes to making fake content, like stuff that's misleading or even harmful.
Yeah, like deepfakes. We've already seen AI being used to create those videos of people saying and doing things they never actually did. And they look so real, it's scary.
And as this technology gets better, we could see AI making entire scenes or even whole movies that are totally made up.
It's kind of wild to think about, isn't it? I mean, it could make people stop trusting what they see and hear, making it harder to figure out what's real and what's fake.
It's almost like we're heading into a world where seeing isn't believing anymore.
Exactly. And the potential for people to use this for bad stuff is a real worry. Imagine this technology being used to spread propaganda, mess with public opinion, or even, start violence.
It really shows that any tool can be used for good or bad, right? It all depends on who's using it and what they want to do with it.
Another big issue is bias. All these AI models are trained on tons of data, and if that data has the same biases that exist in society, the AI is going to keep those biases going.
So like if an AI learns from a bunch of images that mostly show men in charge, it might then create more images that reinforce that stereotype.
Totally. We could see AI-generated game worlds that are full of gender stereotypes or virtual learning environments that discriminate against certain groups.
It just shows how important it is to be really careful about the data used to train these models and to make sure they're designed to be fair and inclusive from the start.
Yeah, we have to be really proactive about these issues. If we're not, AI could make those problems in society even worse, instead of helping to solve them.
And of course, we can't ignore what this could mean for jobs. As AI gets more advanced, some jobs are definitely going to be done by machines.
Like, imagine a world where AI can write scripts, compose music, direct movies. What happens to all the people who do those jobs now?
That's a question we have to start thinking about seriously, like right now. How do we prepare for a future where AI is doing more and more of the work?
It's not just about learning new job skills, it's about rethinking what work even means and the value we put on human creativity and all the cool stuff our brains can do.
So knowing all these challenges, what can we do to make sure AI-generated content is used responsibly and ethically?
I think regulation and oversight are really important. We need clear rules and standards for how this technology is developed and used, and we gotta hold companies accountable for what their AI models are putting out there.
And we need to educate people about the potential risks and benefits so they can make smart choices about how they interact with AI-generated stuff.
Transparency is super important too. Companies making these AI models need to be open about the data they're using to train their models and the algorithms they're using to generate content.
That's going to help build trust,
Yeah.
And it lets researchers spot potential biases or problems in those systems.
And honestly, we just need to keep investing in education and training. We got to give people the skills they need to succeed in a future where AI is everywhere.
That means technical skills, but also critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. The things that humans are really good at, Those skills are going to be even more important in an AI-driven world.
I like that. And I think it's important to remember that the future of AI-generated content isn't set in stone. It's something we're building right now with every decision we make.
If we face these ethical challenges head on, we can use the power of AI for good, making sure it benefits everyone.
That's a future worth fighting for.
Totally. All right, well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of AI-generated content.
Hopefully this got you thinking, maybe spark some new ideas.
Remember, the future doesn't just happen to us, we create it together. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
This is Neural Shift, signing off.